Today we're talking about The Forgotten with Batman the Animated Series, which originally aired 25 years ago today, October 8th, 1992. Hello friends, welcome to the show. I'm Andy Knode, and this is the show where we take a look at Batman the Animated Series episode by episode on the 25th anniversary of their original air dates. And if you love Batman and are like me and grew up with Batman the Animated Series, then please consider subscribing because we've got lots and lots of episodes to go, and I wouldn't want you to miss one.
And what you do means a lot to this city.
Today we're talking about The Forgotten, which I have to say was surprisingly good. It was an episode that I do remember watching as a kid, and I remember enjoying it. And when I honestly sat down to watch it today, I wasn't sure what to expect because I knew elements of the plot that I was a little leery on as how well they aged. And it's a good episode.
I'm telling you, something's very wrong.
You've talked to the police?
Of course, but the police have their hands full. And homeless people disappearing's not big news.
So we're going to put the 45-second Joker bomb up on the screen, and I'm going to give you the rundown of the episode as quick as I possibly can before the bomb goes off. Bruce Wayne is helping out at a homeless mission where they are feeding some of the poor, and the director of the mission is telling Bruce that some people have been disappearing. So Bruce goes back, puts on a disguise, comes out and to see what's going on, and gets jumped by a couple of thugs, and he gets taken to this place, this work camp, and he doesn't have any memory of being Bruce Wayne or Batman. And so as he's working and trying to get his memories back, finally it comes back to him that he is Batman. He runs off. Meanwhile, Alfred has been tracking him and flies the Batwing there, gets him his bat suit. He goes in and shuts down the whole mission, and then his friends that he met at the work camp are now impressed that he is rich. 45. Yes. So like I said, this episode is really entertaining, really enjoyable. And from the moment it first came on with the title cards, and as we got into the beginning of it, I remembered that music. And that music theme that runs throughout the episode with the guitar and the harmonica just has a great feel to it. It introduces that heat, desert, hot, working kind of environment, and really got me into the episode right up at the beginning.
Now, get to work, or you'll all roast.
The other thing that I really enjoyed about this episode, and I kind of forgot, no pun intended, but I kind of forgot how impactful it was on me. The element of the story, the primary driving element of the story, is that Bruce Wayne, or Batman, has lost his memory. And then he's taken away to this work camp, and he not only doesn't remember who he is, Bruce Wayne-wise, but doesn't remember that he's Batman. And there's obviously bad things that are going on there, and this would be a perfect opportunity for Batman to stop them, but he doesn't know that he's Batman.
So what's your name, pal?
I don't know.
That's a really eerie thought to have, to the idea of losing your memory and being taken off to this work camp and having no idea who you are or how you got there or why you're there, and having to figure out a way to get out or if you can even get out. And especially if you're Batman, knowing that you have the skills and training inside of you, but you don't know that you're Batman.
Only vampires loathe daylight more than Batman.
And I say it was really impactful to me because I was reminded as I was watching this episode that my friends and I wrote a screenplay when we were in high school about a main character that had lost her memory, and everybody's trying to convince her that she was working for them. What I had forgotten about was that the title of that screenplay was Forgotten. Well, I remember what it was. I remembered that it was called Forgotten. I didn't forget the title, but the title was called Forgotten. I don't think that I consciously chose the title based on this episode, but it just worked out that way.
Now that was real funny. Throw him in the box!
Anyway, enough about my high school screenwriting days. The other thing that struck me about this episode was it's kind of sad. There's some really kind of emotional moments when he's getting his memory back, particularly when he starts regaining his memory about his parents dying and that being why he became Batman. It's a little sad. It's a little sad for that. And initially when he has the flashback of being Bruce Wayne and trying to give money to the homeless, that's a little sad too, seeing all the people that are coming out and everybody asking for money. That's a little sad. So brave moves for a kid's show. And when I was a kid, I don't remember affected me that way as I do an adult, or if I noticed those parts, but it just added a great layer to the story for sure.
Hey, you can't give up hope. Down here, it's all we've got to hang on to.
What's, I think, most amazing about this episode is, other than a brief glimpse in a flashback, you don't actually see Bruce Wayne become Batman until 17 and a half minutes into the episode without commercials. And he's only on screen for a 3.5 minute scene.
What are you babbling about? What bat?
Right here.
There it is! Batman!
And I don't say that as a negative thing. I actually say that as a positive, because the episode stands on its own. The story is so rich and so vibrant and so detailed. All those elements work so well. And the other characters, the supporting characters that he meets up with at the work camp, are really fleshed out characters.
Hang on, man. We'll get you out.
Take your time. It's the first break I've had all day.
Does this sort of thing happen often?
Too often.
You know, there's great moments of animation. There's still some action. There's still some emotion. So it's just a really well-rounded episode. The proof in that is that they didn't even need Batman in it, other than that little bit where he comes in and shuts down the camp and beats up all the bad guys. Solid without him. So that is really impressive, and I think a strength to the writing and directing of the show, and why it has withstood the test of time so well. And the other thing that's really great about this episode is Alfred gets into the action. When he sees that Bruce Wayne is gone, and he goes down and sees that the Batmobile's still there, and he starts hunting around, doing a little investigation himself to see where Bruce Wayne is. So once again, when it comes time to rank this episode, I did not think going into this episode that I was going to like it as much as I did. Whenever I rank these episodes, I kind of usually start at the bottom and kind of just work my way up the list and go, yeah, it's better than that one, better than that one, better than that one. And this episode, I was shocked as I moved my way up the list until it finally reached the number 7 slot in the running list of my favorite episodes so far. I just couldn't bring myself to let this episode beat out I've Got Batman in My Basement, particularly because that holds a high nostalgic factor. But the story in this one truly is worthy of being in that number 7 slot.
Hit me, Riley.
Hit you? Why?
Maybe I'll lose my memory and wake up a millionaire too.
So when you watch this episode back, do you miss Batman being in there? Or are there other episodes that you can think of that don't have Batman per se in it a lot, that still are a solid episode, that showcase the writing and the strength of the other characters in the episode? If any of that's true for you, please let me know in the comments below. Coming up, we have another little break happening in the running order of these episodes, but we'll be back on October 12th, Thursday, with Mad as a Hatter. As always, thank you so much for watching. I'm Andy Knode, and if you enjoyed this episode, just hit that like button, and I will see you on Thursday.